Well, these are COVID times, ladies and gentlemen. And joining us now is a team which has put out a very, very unique product. And it comes from the Eureka Forbes table. And it's called the FORBES CoronaGuard. What's so unique about this product? What is this product all about? And how is it going to keep households, office areas, and perhaps the surroundings safer for us, especially in the times of this pandemic? Let's try and ask MD and CEO of Eureka Forbes, Marzina Shroff, who's with us. We also have Professor T.G. Sitaram, who's the director at the IIT Guwahati, is also professor there. And I have Dr. Anil Balani, close to 3 decades of expertise in internal medicine. He consults in Mumbai with the Leelavati and the Hinduja hospitals. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us, and I look forward to this conversation. Firstly, I'm very keen, very intrigued to understand what is FORBES CoronaGuard. So, Marzin Shroff, please take it away and tell our viewers what this product is.
So, the FORBES CoronaGuard, powered by SHYCOCAN, it's a revolutionary device. And what this device does is it inactivates the entire corona family of viruses and prevents its spread in enclosed places. So we partnered with Dr. Raja Vijay Kumar, who's an inventor, a scientist of his own, nature, and he's come up with a lot of patented products in the past, where he's been, a uniquely significant scientist. So this technology particularly is based on the well-known principle of physics, which is photon mediated electron emission. What it essentially does in simple terms is it discharges, photon mediated electrons into the atmosphere in trillions per second. And these electrons and protons, and they disable the S protein in the virus. If you've seen the virus, it has these spikes. These spikes are called S proteins. Now, those spikes are positively charged. What it does is it neutralizes the charge of the virus. So even when the virus does go inside the human body, it is mostly attenuated, and therefore it prevents infectivity. Eureka Forbes as a company, has been fighting with bacteria and viruses ever since we were born. We've been doing it in water, in air, on surfaces. The CoronaGuard actually can contain the spread of this disease in enclosed places and actually make a positive difference to the lives of millions of Indians first, and perhaps even in the rest of the world.
So what's the nature of this product? Is it like an air purifier, or you just, is it like a plug-and-play kind of a device?
It is a plug-and-play device. It ideally needs to be put at a height so that it covers the entire room. The current device takes care of, up to 1,000 square feet, which means in an enclosed room, it takes care of, it takes care of an entire room. And what it does is it attenuates the virus. So it discharges these photon-mediated electrons into the air in trillions per second. And these electrons then attach itself. So if there is a virus moving around in the air, it attaches itself to the virus, neutralizes the charge, and it deactivates it, or it attenuates it. In medical language, it's called attenuation.
Let me just bring in Professor Sitaram. How, in terms of the testing, how did you go about testing this, Professor Sitaram, and what is the level of effectivity? Is it effective against COVID-19?
Thank you, Anand. So to do these testing, our professors, that Professor Senthil Murugan Subaya from Chemical Engineering, Professor Sachin Kumar, who is a professor in biosciences, bioengineering, who also runs the viral immunology lab at IIT Guwahati, has to build a special, cabinet where all these can be done, because we are now dealing with viruses. So I want to tell you, the first thing is we have built the 2 leak-proof chambers of 6 feet by 6 feet by 6 feet, close to about 6,300 liters capacity, made of high-density polyethylene sheets to maintain controlled environment of 25 degrees centigrade and 60% relative humidity. So that means we are doing under controlled environment. Please note that. That is the first thing. And then we need to also develop a porous membrane to filter the highest pore size of 0.01 micron, so that the filter avian coronavirus from here. So please note this. We have used the avian coronavirus, not the corona-19, virus. Okay. So from this, what are the other facilities we have used? Very standard real-time PCR, RT-PCR, which is used for testing. I think everybody understands now RT-PCR. And then we also had the BS2 cabinet, the biosafety level 2 cabinet, so where we can do the controlled experiments. So based on the basically three objectives were posed to, 3 questions were posed to us. Whether they find out the disinfection efficiency of the FORBES CoronaGuard, powered by SHYCOCAN against the avian coronavirus. Please note this is avian coronavirus. And then disinfection efficiency of FORBES CoronaGuard powered by SHYCOCAN against avian coronavirus in the air. One test in the air, one series of tests in the air, one series of tests in the surface, wall surfaces of the cubicle, the room. Okay, and then there was another question was asked for us to find out the cellular toxicity of this guard, whether it has any effect on human being cells. So what our scientists have done is they have taken a cultured human lung epithelial cells. Cultured, that means basically they have taken a human cells from the lungs, and tested on them. So now let me talk about the results. These are all, please note this, these are all controlled laboratory condition tests what has been carried out. We could see the disinfection of the avian coronavirus present in the air within 15 minutes in the presence of controlled environment. And then we also see the notable effect of inactivation of the avian coronavirus on the surface, on the cultured human lung cells. Okay. FORBES CoronaGuard was actually found to be almost same in the controlled group. That means, what it means is, even after prolonged exposure for 12 hours on the cultured human lung epithelial cells, that it is found to be more than 87%. That means that it is not really affecting any of the human cells. So subsequently, the microscopic images also showed no morphological differences between the test and the control groups.
No, thank you, Professor Sitaram. I think you put matters to light, and very importantly saying that this is the avian coronavirus which you've tested, because not the novel coronavirus or COVID-19. But the fact is that it is in the same, it's in the same species of viruses, that is the coronaviruses. Dr. Anil Balani, how critical and how important is this in these times?
It's of extreme importance. We've been going through this since last almost 1 year plus. Especially when we know that we have to let the people work as well to make a living. I think it's very, very difficult to go through a lockdown, especially when you see middle class, lower middle class, people who are without jobs or sitting at home, no salaries coming. So as one very good industrialist said it, that we have to let our able-bodied work and protect the elderly and the vulnerable. So when you consider all that, then a device like CoronaGuard is extremely important, because to instill confidence into people from coming to work, attending offices, to interact with each other, this is where it plays a big role, I feel.
So are you saying that if we install it in our work environment and also in our home, because of the certain aerosol effect that we've seen in the second wave of the virus,
that's right,
there is a certain ability to try and neutralize before it enters other people, or even if it does, then the intensity of the virus, the viral load
goes
can
down.
come. Would you say that?
See, we all know that the disease intensity is always proportionate to the viral load. The amount of viruses that are exposed either in the air or in the cough and the sneeze. The higher the viral load, the more severe, the more chances of the person who is exposed to that getting the illness. And of course, if the viral load is very, very high, the disease is going to be severe. The patient is going to be affected tremendously and is going to land up in the hospital. So if this attenuates the viral load, especially in the air or whenever there is a cough or the sneeze, so definitely this is going to help in a big way.
So gentlemen, thank you very, very much. All the best to this product.